started, and we're a little bit of a late start. What's new? However, give me a moment, guys, and I'm going to set up Shannon's microphone real quick. Let me see. I'm not even sure. Okay, there we go. But I'm going to set Shannon's microphone up real quick, and we were thinking about not doing tonight's live. However, we are going to do it. Some personal things came up. Can't really go into much detail about that, but give me one moment. I'll be right back. So those of you that are just tuning in, just give us one moment, and I'm going to get her microphone set up, and we're going to talk about some stuff. So give me one moment. I'm going to put y'all on hold with the with some elevator music here. Not really, but just give me one moment. What's that?
That's not Christmas, it's punk. Oh, that's a good point. Hi guys, I'm far away. Woo! I don't even have the chat thing on.
Hey Shannon, why don't you get over here and drive for a moment? Would you mind doing that? No?
No, I'll do it. I'm just trying to think of what I'd say.
No, I mean sit right here with the camera on you.
Oh no.
No, you don't want to do that?
No, I really don't.
Oh, okay. Well, that's no fun. All right, I'm gonna angle this over towards Shannon a little bit.
I just put my like my eyeglasses beanie on so I can keep my
Oh, did you? But so you guys get to see me set this microphone up, which is probably, I don't know, it might either be entertaining or completely boring.
I'm bored.
Oh gosh. Here, this might not be boring. Shannon, where are you going, dude? Come back. They want to see your setup. Anyways, there's her little monitor. She reads the comments off of, and I'm just setting her microphone up.
How do you do that?
In case any of you guys are wondering, her mic is a SM57. You audio guys out there know about these. Oh no, actually that's an SM58. Oops, I totally just hit your.
Yeah, I watched it. I watched
right
that
there.
happen.
That was pretty smooth, wasn't it?
Mm.
On a scale of smoothness from 1 to 10, how smooth would you say that was?
I rated on our first date.
What?
I rated by our first date.
I'm not even sure what that means. What are you trying to say? Was our first date crap?
No, it's just you were dorky and charming.
Oh Lord, that's my style, I guess.
Well, won me over.
This is true. This is absolutely true.
Okay, can you
Could I what?
It's really cold out here.
Why don't you just stand right there, or stand? I'll let you know when you get into the view of the camera. Here, just keep on coming, Shannon.
No, because
Come
then
on.
I will get in the view of the camera.
Oh, what does it matter?
A lot.
Okay, so Shannon, she's gonna show up over there, aren't you, Shannon?
Show up? No, but
yeah,
be
see,
there, yes.
I think that'd be great. See, you can just go ahead and do your thing right there, and like whoop. No, does that sound like a cool setup?
That's an idea
for this evening. Oh, come on. Trying to
eyes swollen.
trying to lighten the mood here.
You're doing a
but
great job.
That's not. You're not down with that. Well,
That's not gonna lighten my mood. Oh my god.
let us know in the chat if y'all would like to see that. Cause,
oh, shut up! You already know they already do.
Yeah, I do, and that's why
I'm the screen printing world's Bigfoot.
you're the screen printing world's Bigfoot.
Pretty much that's what Pornstar said.
Yeah, that's true.
I'd rather a unicorn, but you know, I also want a fairy instead of gnome.
You want a fairy instead of a gnome?
Yeah, I did.
Wiki. Microphone check. So, imagine this is probably a little different. A lot of different. I'm not even sure. I see it registering over there. The microphone. This mic is actually pretty awesome.
I've seen him play music with it.
Yeah, you sure have. Yeah, I hope to get into doing some more of that this year, but we'll see how that turns out. Probably it'd be nice to have some more time for it. Because I haven't done a whole lot in about a year. When I was playing music, pretty much since 2006 up until about last year, pretty much full time. Not full time, but a part time gig. Probably almost kind of like how a lot of the screen printers that are doing it on the side. That's how often I was playing music. Anyhow, that's what I'm looking for. There we go. Use a separate display. And we'll blow this thing up. And we have 18 people watching Shannon, so whenever you're ready to jump in right here.
As soon as you can.
What? Okay. I'll move it.
Is it okay?
Yeah, it's fine. It's an SM58. It's meant that grill is all beat
Why
up.
are you talking to me about it like it's a truck?
It is. It's like the tank of all microphones.
Okay, well, let me know when
Sorry, I had that microphone cable just kind of across the floor, and then smoothly enough I kicked the thing over, but whatever. Okay, so the camera's not on you, Shannon. Sorry, everybody. I try, man. I try. I really do try to get her on, but it just, I don't know if that's ever going to happen. Aside from her just kind of peeking her head in the times that she has.
Mostly it's drunken impulse.
Yeah. So, welcome everybody. We're doing this, we are going to do the full hour. So, today's been one of those extra special days. Some personal stuff gone on. I guess the only thing I can, I'm not even gonna say anything. I might fill you guys in later on when things aren't so fresh, but
not if you will let me crying on
yeah,
camera.
I had somewhere I had to be, and then got into work like at about 12:30. Was just going at it, getting some art done. Was out there for a couple hours reclaiming screens, and literally just moments ago I was like, okay, just finished that up, and so we're behind. We still haven't eaten lunch, haven't eaten dinner.
He's had lunch.
Who? Oh, Apollo? Oh, speaking of Apollo, we'll get into the topic, whatnot. I kind of want to talk about the our experience thus far with what we've been experiencing with the contract screen printing.
Mm.
Kind of searching out the screen printing, contract screen printing. Just basically finding brokers and companies that do that. But okay, so
Oh,
quick personal thing.
Jason, I am so sorry. Let me know how she's doing, okay?
What happened?
Jason's girlfriends went to the ambulance, the ER in an ambulance.
Oh no, what would that happen? Sorry to hear that, dude.
Okay, otherwise, hi Rybeats, hi youngsters, hi Andrew Garcia, GM Prince, Jason. Seriously, hope everything is okay.
Yeah, sorry to hear that, man. Ugh, kind of feel sometimes, and I know Shannon doesn't like me saying this phrase. If it's not one thing, it's another kind of thing, which that kind of sums life up a little bit. But
I don't know.
sorry to hear
I
that.
like to try to be Pollyanna.
Yeah, it's great to keep a positive attitude towards things. However, sometimes being realistic and saying, you know what, this whatever it is, this really sucks, and rather than everything's gonna be okay kind of a situation. Nothing's going on with just in case you guys are wondering, nothing's going on with the business. It's just personal crap that affects us to an extent that it's like I don't know, and it's
It does
I
have an influence.
it has an influence, but not that much.
Guys, think of our relationship as this. I'm like this Care Bear, like just like jumping and frolicking along, and all of a sudden this rain cloud comes and zaps me in the ass. That's what I feel like the if it's not one thing, it's another.
Oh, that's what
Phrases.
that phrase you feel like that's like.
Yeah, I'm like la 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 la. Everything's gonna be great. Blah blah blah. It'll be cool. It'll be fine. Everything's gonna work out. Boom. And then I'm just sitting there like, my hair is like all singed.
Yeah.
So there's
Yeah,
that.
right before we got on, Shannon was let's say
Oh, I was
not in
bawling
a
my
good
eyes
mood.
out.
Okay, there you go. I wasn't gonna say it
I'm
particularly,
fine
but
saying it. I was bawling my eyes
I was
out.
like, are we doing the live today? And I really was going to get on for just a moment to kind of say, hey, we're not going to be on today, which that's kind of silly in itself. But I think just because I was going to do that really encouraged us to get on and just kind of sweep everything under the rug for now.
Kind of like a sense of normal.
What is going on?
Yeah.
And it does take away from. I'd say it's a nice distraction from when personal things do come up. So
And we love you guys.
that too, one of the things about what we do here and the channel, if you are new and are just kind of um, really watching videos, kind of getting a feel for us, that we get quite a bit of. There's a lot of times I do spend chatting with you guys, and sometimes it's hard for me to draw that line of when to really like focus on the business, which I mean we focus on that quite a bit. However, like say for example, had someone that emailed us and they're wanting to do things differently screen printing wise. And what I mean by saying that, and I get the cool kind of hype to it. They're wanting to essentially make their screens using heat transfer vinyl. They're going to use their plotter to cut it out, and had a lot of questions about inks and whatnot. And I felt a little overwhelmed answering that. I don't have any experience doing that because I just kind of feel like that's a cool solution to doing something hobby wise, but not a sustainable way of actually creating screens and wanting to do it. I mean, it's cool, like kind of a crafty, maybe kind of a Etsy sense type of thing. But if you're wanting to be a commercial screen printer, probably not so much.
Hey, why are you
And
looking
then
down on Etsy? I get the coolest shit from there.
I'm not looking down on Etsy, but Etsy, uh, I would say when it comes in my mind at least, and you guys can let us know what y'all think. But when it comes to Etsy, it's kind of like a stay-at-home mom has some products that she's selling, and sure, it can grow into something bigger. But to me, like I feel like a majority of shops on Etsy are kind of that.
I'm
You know, it's
thinking
kind
of
of like
ordering
the
my
guy in the
custom.
garage screen printing part time to make a little extra cash. This is Etsy is like I've found some cool. I'm gonna sell these bracelets that I like to make
I'm thinking of getting my
type of deal.
custom made anime glitter falling liquid cell phone case from Etsy. I found one
See,
place that will
well,
do it.
I don't know. I mean,
Etsy's the only one I can find it from. Anyways, go
there
on, go on, go on.
there are some. I mean, don't get me wrong. There's some big Etsy stores, but it's a pretty awesome platform, I would say, to kind of fill that out. And if there's demand for whatever it is you're making, then obviously the sky's the limit. But to me, that's what I kind of feel like.
Well, they're all talking about that, kind of.
Um,
And Jason says we love you too, and Raw Uproar says Raw means heart you in dinosaur. And for they're talking about the Ready for the Long Beach ISS show, and
oh yeah, yeah,
a lot of them are talking about how stencil is. I just spit everywhere.
yeah. Doing the vinyl stencils just really it's a cool idea for doing a couple shirts. I would say. Here, I'm gonna point that down towards your mouth.
Oh, is it better now?
I mean, I can hear you just fine. Just...
Well, I'm in the room with you.
No, what I'm saying is your audio coming through. Anyhow, so one of the other things, I want to talk about ISS here in a minute, but Joe, I don't know, Joe, if you do watch the whole kind of series of me working on the Tough Press workhorse,
The beast.
the beast, as Shannon calls it. So I've gotten some calls and emails about just questions in general. Joe is out in Alabama. Is that right, Shannon? I think it's
I know
Alabama.
he's Alabama. I didn't know his name was Joe.
It says just Joe on the caller ID. I'm pretty sure his name. I'm pretty sure he said Joe. Anyhow, so he partnered up with somebody and got a used Freedom, and apparently it doesn't have that many prints on it. Howard, our tech, he actually used to work with Howard. However, he had a business back in the 80s, screen printing business. They had one for 5 years. Met someone that was looking to add that to their shop. He's partnering up with them. They're going to do a screen printing part to their business, which does banners and a whole bunch of other things. And the only thing they're really missing is screen printing. They do car wraps as well. And so, but it's cool. It's cool talking to people and offering, sharing our experience with everything. And he had questions about ink and whatnot. So that's really cool. And the conversation kind of ends like, hey, if you're ever out in the Alabama area, look me up. I'll buy you dinner and
A beer.
yeah, buy y'all dinner and some drinks, basically, and we can hang out on the beach. Yada yada yada. Howard, I think Howard, YouTube. When he was helping set up the press, he noticed I was vlogging stuff, and he's like, You really like that camera, don't you?
It's my mother's camera, by the way, that she just kind of gave us.
Yeah, it
We asked
is.
to borrow it, and just she's never asked for it back.
Mm-hmm. And so I'm like, yeah, I was like, watch, Howard, you're gonna get some people that are gonna call you up and ask for your services because of these videos and this channel, and that's happening. He even said, if someone calls me up and what? Hold on, give me one moment there, Shannon.
No. He's chewing on the headband. That's all.
Oh, okay. So anyhow, he was saying that if someone calls me up, I'll give you a little bit of a kickback, a commission type thing. So Howard, I'm going to be giving you a phone call, buddy, and see what we got working out here.
We've had several conversations with Joe.
Some of the Joe's cool, and it's funny because I was like in the middle of doing. I'm going to upload a video. It'll either be Wednesday or Thursday. It's basically a 6-color spot process job. It's not the first one we've done, but I really took the entire day to record it. I can't tell you how long. Like, recording these videos really does take quite a bit of time.
Mm-hmm.
And so it took me all day. And there were things that were coming up on the press that, like, for instance, I had some black ink on one of the palettes and didn't realize it. So I'm doing all these test prints, and then all of a sudden, once I do the last green, a little black smudge was showing up in the print, and I was just like, for about 2.5 hours, I was like, man, I cannot for the life of me figure. And Shannon was like, I'm not going to be able to help you out, and then I was like, well, I guess maybe not. 2.5 hours later, she came out and she was like, well, maybe it's this on the press, and it was like a little droplet of black ink.
10 seconds.
I was like, yes, that is it. Why didn't you come out and offer your help sooner? I know you did, but why didn't you just like say, hey, I'm going to try and help you? Anyways, we got the job done. Whatever.
Okay, anyways, can I ask a question?
What? Yeah. What?
Who the dick is Idol? Because Ice Cream, he keeps saying, Idol. Please mention me.
What?
It's right there.
I have no idea.
Am I the Idol? Hi, Ice Cream.
Oh, Ice Cream. Howdy. Are you talking to us?
I don't know.
Well, Ice Cream, what's up, dude? Welcome.
Idol. I don't know who Idol is.
I don't know. Is he saying?
Oh, good lord.
That we're the idol kind of thing? I don't know. But what's up, Ice Cream? So there was something else.
Sorry, I just was really curious about that.
No, that's fine. So ISS Long Beach. I wish we were going, but we are not. Because we just can't afford a $1,200 trip right now, or however much it costs. We thought about
season.
Driving out there. Yeah, right now it is our slow season. I mean, we're not running around crazy, like crazy busy. It's steady. We're not slammed like we are during the summer. So when it is kind of just steady, we really it gives us some time to, like, one of the reasons we got the press right now is because we knew that we'd be able to keep up with all the changes going on in the shop and keep up with our orders and everything. So
it's kind of a catch-22.
I don't know if he needs to go outside or what.
Yeah. Okay. But they're being funny. I'm gonna take him out, and I'll be right back. Bye, guys.
Ahead. Yeah, Shannon's gonna take Apollo out real quick. He needs to go use the restroom. Speaking of Apollo, funny thing is we started him on a raw diet, so that's been kind of weird and gross. I have no idea what she just knocked over in the shop. She knocked something over trying to open the door. That's Shannon for you. But so I don't know, man. Like, I wish we could have gone to the ISS show so we could meet a lot of you guys and see what the ISS show is all about. We've seriously thought about it. Was about to get some tickets and everything, but just I'd rather not spend what reserve money we have right now on a trip that's purely, sure, it's a business trip. We can write it off as a business trip, but we don't want to be, we don't want money to be tight, so to speak. So I don't know, man. Rye Beats, vlog it. I'd love to see that. Whoever else is listening, if you guys can vlog it, that'd be awesome. I wish we could go. I really do, because it seems like, you know, seems like ISS shows are always a lot of fun, and I think that's when we went to the ISS show and I vlogged it. I tried vlogging as much as I could, but because we were chatting it up and just having a bunch of fun with it, I didn't quite capture as much as I would have liked to. Sometimes the thing about vlogging is you really, when you're behind a camera, you're not really kind of in the moment of what's going on. So it's kind of like going to a concert and holding your phone up and experiencing it through that. I'm the kind of person, I might record a little tidbit of some sort of song someone's playing just to kind of remember it, but so I don't know.
Okay, so
I mean, I know, but
I'm back. Hi guys, Adam G. We don't sell anything on Etsy, just so you know. We're fully established business. They were going on about the stencils and stuff like that, and
Right.
idle, and apparently one of us mentioned you, and I don't know who is the other. I'm thinking you.
What?
Idle ice cream says, Idol, thank you for mentioning me, and I don't know which one he's referring to, but I'm thinking you. You're his idol. And Jason's like, puppy. And
yeah, because I mentioned briefly about the. At least I think, man, just today my mind's all over the place. But yeah, we started feeding Apollo a raw diet, which has been kind of gross. I think I mentioned that.
Yeah, Waldo's actually asking what's weird about the raw food diet. Have you seen a dog eat a chicken foot?
Okay, so we're feeding him chicken thighs that are plenty fatty. They have a lot of fat meat on it and some bone. Because he is a high energy dog, they need that extra fat. And so we've been feeding him raw chicken thigh, raw chicken feet, because he's kind of on the barf diet, bones and raw foods, carrots as well.
He doesn't like carrots.
We'll put an egg on top of everything, so it's like a little chunk of thigh, a couple chicken feet, an egg, some gizzard and liver and gizzards and hearts, crap like that. And it just stinks, man. It's like fishing bait.
My parents, like, the next time we bring the dog like over for dinner, you know.
Yeah.
My parents are just gonna be like, "What the shit?" It's such a millennial type of diet. Like, we're putting him on the raw diet.
It and the reason we started doing that is we've been feeding him dog food. However, I saw one of my friends that I went to high school with, and she is a groomer. And her being in that business, we're like, hey, or Shannon actually asked, why, could you tell us why he has dandruff? I was like, yeah, what are you feeding him? Dog food? That's the problem, because it's just crap, really. She's like, feed him a raw diet. I was like, oh, okay, so you mean just like cooked chicken breast with nothing on it? She's like, no, give it to him like raw meat. I was like, just raw? Yeah, give them chicken, an egg, beets. Was it beets?
It was beets.
Chickpeas, carrots,
I don't
and whatnot.
remember if it was beets. The dog in the video ate the beets. I don't know if it was beets, but there was chickpeas, definitely.
So,
and basically, we're just giving him a better diet that we have.
Yeah, she put it in a very good and kind of polite way. It's just like, you don't see a wolf eating barbecued or cooked food, just give it to him raw. And so I did some research on it, and so now that's what we're doing. So what we've been doing is dividing. He's supposed to have 3 meals a day. Dividing that, we'll buy a crap ton of meat. At first, he didn't really take to it, but now he is.
Yeah.
And having
the
the divvy that up,
right next to my vodka.
you have to be really really clean about it, just as with any raw meats that you're handling. And then we see him crunching on chicken feet. He's like running around. He'll get it out of his bowl and run around. And it was like, dude, you're getting raw meat everywhere. And then he wants to look you in the face. So that's the gross part.
Yeah, there's like a 10 feet barrier, like for probably an hour after he eats. Yeah. You're like, dude, no, get away.
It's not like we just can grab a bowl, scoop some food up, and be like, here you go. So now we have to divide it up into daily portions, let it thaw, empty that juicy nastiness into his bowl, feed it to him, and then he goes around, and dogs tend to not just like keep their food in the bowl. At least raw meat, they grab it and then they go to somewhere comfortable,
Mom,
and they start.
Look what I caught.
Yeah, they start eating it.
Okay, so Jason.
Okay, enough of that.
Well, Jason wants to know how we came to Apollo. Well, we were thinking of Zeus, but I felt like, I felt like that's been done before. I feel like other people have named their dog Zeus. And then the kids voted on Apollo, which actually works well because I like Greek mythology and Matt likes Houston. So Apollo.
Well, the thing is, I was like, let's name them. So she had Zeus and Apollo picked out, and I was like, I kind of like Zeus better, but I'm glad we didn't. I absolutely love the name Apollo now. I'm glad that we came to naming him Apollo. But my reasoning was, oh yeah, Apollo, because like NASA, just like Houston. That's what I can relate to versus the Greek mythology thing. I wanted to name him Dog.
Like D-O-G.
Yeah. How do you spell his name? D-O-G.
No, that's not how we would have spelled it. But anyways, okay.
Hell yeah, because you go to the vet and then you have to fill out your pet's name,
fancy, like
and
La Dynasty.
And you have to write your pet's name on the form, and it's like your pet's name is dog. No, it's not dog. It's D-O-G.
Oh, and by the way, hi Waldo. Okay, so Youngsters Clothing wants to know what an ISS show is.
ISS show it's the
it's so much fun
sportswear show. And it's a convention basically with all the screen printing vendors, supplies, embroidery, HTV, which is heat transfer vinyl, direct to garment, rhinestones. Trying to think of what else, but they also do awards. They have classes. They have seminars.
Mm-hmm. I think one of my favorite things was your video clip when you vlogged the whole thing with Ryan in the seminar, and you're just like vlogging and like recording him as he's giving the seminar, and you're just like outside of it, and you're like, nah.
Yeah, that was cool. Ryan's cool. He's a cool guy, and also there's software companies up there as well. Anything you can really think of tied into just decorating apparel. I would call it the decorated apparel kind of show.
And no one yells at you if you walk around with booze.
No, actually they have a happy hour on Fridays, which I was always happy to take advantage of that.
But I'm bummed.
Yeah, so that's in a nutshell what it is. Samples, you get free samples. You get to see just about every piece of equipment vendors have to offer, at least a lot of them. They have automatic machines up there, embroidery machines going at it. A lot of the new digital stuff that they have going on for screen printing and your dark room and all that, and probably stuff I've never thought of is going on. And that's the place to go and show it, because all the everybody from the industry basically goes there to kind of check out and see what's going on What's new?
dragged
Who has
Panda.
what?
We dragged Panda to it.
Oh, speaking of, also they have apparel, wholesale apparel vendors there as well.
Mm-hmm.
And
I like going for
I'm
the
sure
free bags.
I'm sure I'm missing a lot of stuff, but that's all I can think of off the top of my head. It's cool.
Well, Waldo had a Doberman named Apollo.
What?
Yep.
That's funny. It's a small world there, Waldo.
Okay, so Adam G wants to know if you have to register a business to go to ISS. No. Right?
I don't believe so. I mean, generally, you have to register yourself and you can put your business name in there. You don't have to actually be a registered business. You don't have to have a DBA or anything like that. But I mean, it's really they're going to send you stuff in the mail. I mean, you go to these different booths. You're going to have a name tag. They'll ask you if you can scan it. They send you propaganda. That's
scan it.
That's their sales material, which is cool. I mean, if you're interested in whatever booth you're hanging around, they're going to ask you to scan it, and it's really so they can show their company or the ISS show, whomever they're showing it to, that they're actually talking to people.
I'm not doing anything.
Hey, dude. Hey, he's attacking Shannon. Oh my god. You're like blowing up the microphone, dude.
Anyways, so...
Hey, come here.
Waldo, where do they have the ISS shows and when? Youngsters, there's one going on in Long Beach soon.
Sorry, Shannon, I turned your microphone down a little bit. Yeah, there's it's this coming weekend. I believe it's they start the classes. I believe it starts Thursday or Wednesday. I'm thinking Thursday. Could be wrong. Just look up ISS Long Beach.
They had their first one in Houston not too long ago.
Yeah, hopefully that continues to grow. I know it's not going to ever be anything like the Long Beach show, but it'd be cool for that to grow. Well, I mean, we'll probably more than likely still go to the Fort Worth ISS show.
We better. It's so much fun. Like, I'm not gonna lie, guys. The ISS show, he had to drag me to the Houston one.
She's like, I don't want to.
I have no makeup on. I am in an oversized t-shirt and yoga pants, and he's like, "Hey, let's go. We're going somewhere." I'm like, "What?" He's like, "Yeah, we're going to the ISS show," and I was like, "Ugh."
It's free and right down the road.
And then we go, and I'm just like, "Oh my god, that was amazing! It was so much fun."
The thing that was amazing, more than likely, was, I mean, not only for her to check out and see a lot of the vendors, meet a lot of the people, and seeing equipment and whatnot.
The open bar didn't hurt.
And there's some interesting things, and then the happy hour. I think that sold her. She's like, "What? 2 free beers?" And then we went and hung out with Ryan afterwards and talked to him for about 2 hours. And they
also open bar.
They catered, and it was open bar. So
they were like, "What kind of vodka do you want?" And I was like, "You can pick."
I can have it, yeah.
I was like, "Grey Goose," and they're like, "Okay, here you go." And I'm just like, "This is amazing."
So we got to fill up on some barbecue and some drinks. I thought that was funny that Ryan had barbecue as the catering for the Houston, Texas ISS show. Don't get me wrong, think barbecue in Houston is a huge thing. The cook-offs, actually, we're sponsoring a company with some printed shirts, and we're gonna put our banner up, and we're gonna go visit and eat their food and drink their beer and listen to their live music and whatnot. So,
but not too late because we'll have our children.
Yeah, let's find a babysitter.
Gail. Gail is Matt's mom.
Okay, so I'm gonna go in real quick. I wasn't really thinking of a topic in particular to talk about. It's generally kind of open, but I did want to touch on this real quick because that is the title of this video, and that was our experience thus far with contract screen printing. And I think that, I mean, it's a great thing. and we're still searching for companies to work with or brokers. So if any of you guys out there are um, looking for a shop to work with to do contract screen printing, we'd be happy to oblige you. Just contact us and send us your pricing rather than asking for our pricing. And this is where things have been a little frustrating because they'll ask for our pricing. Dude, Apollo, stop hitting the microphone, man. Um,
I'm like watching him move.
so I've been going around, and it's funny because they'll ask you like, okay, yeah, what's your pricing? Here we go. Here's our pricing. Oh no, that you know, that we're not going to be able to work with you, right? And we'll talk to you in the future. The companies that just send their pricing makes it easier on us, so there's not a lot of back and forth. If you can send your pricing and say, hey, here's what we're paying for screen printing, that makes it so much easier because we can take a look at it and figure out whether that business relationship is worthwhile, because we need to figure out, we're basically doing it, looking at it to us, how quickly are we able to produce and like turn these orders around really, and for us to look at their pricing and know how much we need to make per hour, our overhead, and how much uh, we need to pay ourselves, all factored in.
Plus profit because we need to grow.
Plus profit, yes, plus profit. So it's not only overhead and paying ourselves, but also profit, so we can grow and get more efficient equipment. So I mean, we take a look at those things, and sometimes it's kind of like we send our pricing, and they're like, oh, okay, and it's like they'll send their pricing back. I'm like, okay, that's something we can work with. Well, what about this? Can you do this? What is your pricing? Okay, here's my pricing. Oh yeah, no, we might have to. It's not a good fit for us. And to me, I'm just kind of like, instead of asking me and hoping I'm going to send you pricing that's lower than what you want to pay out, just send me your pricing, what you're going to be happy with paying, and then we won't have to go back and forth as much, and we can say yay or nay whether or not it's going to work for us, because
It's like trying.
it's kind of wait like go ahead, Shannon, because I got another little point I kind of want to bring up.
It's like trying to negotiate a non-negotiable issue.
Yeah, why negotiate it in the first place? Just say what you want us to. What do you want
This
to pay us?
this is what it is. You look them straight in the eye, blank face. Just this is what it is. Take it or leave it, and stop. And I feel like that a lot with some of our customers or clients. Excuse me. I never say customers. I always say clients. Remember that. Always say clients. I feel like that
As
is.
she says, customer. Anyhow, go ahead.
That's why I said excuse me.
But going
I
back
feel
and
like a
forth,
lot of it, yeah, going back and forth and stuff. It's just like, no, this is a business. It's not like it's. Yeah, I get that it's a mom and pop, but at the same time, we are a business that we have set prices, we have set lists, and everyone comes in and they think they can just like whittle you down, and
right?
it fascinates me. They just
Yeah.
But also, it fascinates me to the point that sometimes you're just like, okay.
Yeah, with our customers that we deal with directly, that we're handling everything. We're taking the orders, and we're getting their sizes, what color shirt, we prepare the art, all that stuff with the contract screen printing. The reason it's less is because they have all the art ready to go. They send it to us. They send the shirts to us. We print them, and then that we box them back up, and their job is generally to get all that information from the client, send us the shirt, send us the print ready art, we print it, put it in the box, they pay for shipping to and from, and then they get their product, they get to make money, we get to make money. But like so with our regular clients, we're dealing with all that, so we charge more. You know, it takes more time, and all that's factored into with contract screen printing. We do contract screen printing or business to business pricing for a handful of people, and it a lot of times it goes pretty smoothly because they're just like, here's the art, here's the shirts, we're going to drop them off, we'll print them and ship them, or they'll come and pick them up, and the process keeps going. But finding some of these new, working with new brokers or contract printing companies is, it's sometimes it's kind of like, you can kind of tell when things just, if it's not easy to begin with. I kind of feel like if saying, hey, yeah, we can work with those prices, or if we're having to go back and forth a lot, I feel like that's just kind of sets up the initial
relationship.
yeah, that first impression is like, well, is this how it's going to be all the time? Because we do have someone interested. However, and the reason, and generally, guys, whenever someone is looking for a new screen printer, sometimes that, to me, that raises a red flag. They already had a screen printer. It's not necessarily because they're growing. They're looking for a new screen printer altogether. We've been contacted by other people that are growing and they're looking to add, because the contract, the printers that are doing contract work for them, you know, they still have more to give out, and they basically just, they're growing. So with this situation, it made me think. I'm like, we're going round and round. I'm like, why did this guy or the company before, what happened with that relationship? And it should be a two-way thing, not they're kind of interviewing you and saying, hey, what are your prices and what can you do? It's somewhat of an interview, but it also needs to be the other way around. What is your turnaround on pay? Why are you looking for a new screen printer if you are? What issues did you have?
Exactly. You say it is an interview, but it's an interview on both sides.
It is. And the issue with the shop that I'm talking about is just their dude before just wasn't turning them around as quickly as he said he could. He was in the beginning, and then was not keeping to his word, and it was taking longer and longer. And all I can think is, part of me kind of feels like, okay, you know, shops have to make money. We all have to make money to put food on the table, to have a roof over our heads. And sure, I get what was going on is they're like, hey, send me your pricing, probably in hopes that our pricing is going to be lower than what they pay out. And in turn, we're like going back and forth. Hey, what's your pricing? Oh, that's too much. Hey, what's your pricing for this? Oh, that's too much. And I looked at their numbers. I'm just kind of like, okay, that's something we can work with. We're somewhat in the same ballpark. We're negotiating, right? I mean, if it's too low and we're not able to make what we need to make, then, you know, that's no bueno. However,
you know,
I just think that, what, Shannon?
Maybe you should have just sent it my way. You know, I'm certified as a negotiator mediator. I'm not kidding. I am. I am a certified negotiator / mediator.
I enjoy doing. I enjoy working with people, getting new clients in, and all that. So long story short, I'm still working with this contract screen printing broker, trying to sort things out, and I don't know. I mean, it'd be nice to pick them up also, but at the same time, it's kind of like, man, come on, dude, just send me your pricing. You saw our work. You know, I'm basically saying, I'm like, okay, your prices are somewhat in the same ballpark. We can work with you on that. But now I just kind of have a bad taste in my mouth just right off the bat with because I just kind of feel like,
hey,
don't get me wrong, like when it comes to doing working with clients directly yourself and they want that low price, if you're not making enough money, you're not going to be around that long. And if you don't want to pay someone the money that they deserve, then I mean you're probably going to run into the same situation you did with your previous screen printers. They just either they're finding more clients that are paying what they need to be paid, either that or they're going out of business or whatever the case is. You're not going to last long really with that kind of mentality. And so I know for us there's like a we know where we need to be at hourly. We know our times, how long it takes to do our screens, setup, separating the art, printing it, and boxing it, and it being ready to go. And so,
and that
if it's not the money we need per hour plus some sort of profit, it's not worth our time. Shannon, go ahead.
and guys, this isn't like, to cast just that into a negative light. Like, one of our favorite clients is just commercial screen printing, and I absolutely adore her. We hug when she comes in.
No, there are plenty of business relationships that we have established where we just enjoy the person we're working with. They're very personable. That it's easy. They bring their artwork.
They have their shit together.
They know what they want. They provide their shirts. We give them a quote. Sometimes I would say the only thing we really have to do is send a mock-up so that way we're all on the same page as far as size and placement goes. And it's easy, and then everybody's happy at the end of the day.
We have one client that every time she opens the door, she runs at me and goes, "Hi, friend."
Oh yeah.
I love her so much.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we got some questions.
Okay, so I think that about wraps it up for what we've learned thus far, and kind of going into what we're experiencing at like a heavy contract screen printing level, where I'm talking about some of these shirts you're getting paid change, like pocket change, and so
pennies.
I mean literally once you get to a certain price break, some of these places, I mean, you're going to get paid maybe 25 cents a shirt. And which is one of the reasons in the past we couldn't have really even fooled around with that, because doing it manually, it's hard to compete with that. Now that we have the automatic, it's like, okay, this is something, if we're at our fastest pace is anywhere from 200 to 700 shirts an hour, depending on what's going on with the print. Are we going to make money off of this?
Yes, especially when you factor in like all the other things like electricity and starting up the press and the work that goes into it, just communicating with them, because our time is $50 an hour.
Mm-hmm.
And if I'm like going back and forth, I'm not getting other things done. And so you got to factor in all of it, not just, is it worth our time on press?
Yeah. I mean, there's one opportunity where the company was really, really set up well towards where they have a portal, and then you go in and here's your jobs, and they have everything all set up. I don't know if we've lost that opportunity, because at the time we did speak back in October, it was their prices were pretty low. However, with the automatic, we could make it work.
My eyebrows raised.
I don't know. I think that I've reached out to him, but I don't know. I think that window may have passed, but not a big deal. Whatever.
Okay.
So questions there.
Yes.
Shannon.
All right. Well, first off, Waldo, he had a blue Doberman, which is exactly the same as my parents. Youngsters, no. Full screen graphics. He's saying hi from Grenada. Tomato. I don't know.
Grenada.
It's in the Caribbean. Any specification for building a drying cabinet? What's Next says he loves your vids. Mustafa. Mustafa.
Mustafa.
Is talking about silkscreen mesh that I'll let you get to after you answer the other things.
Okay, let
Yeah.
me take a
I'm gonna
gander
cut it off right there.
at some of the. Let's see. The first question was from who? Shannon.
Full screen graphics.
Full screen. How far up the chat are we talking about here?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8,
Why
9,
why
10,
does
11, 12, 13. 13.
yeah, what 13 of them?
No, 13 from the bottom.
Mine always read it off because my chat's never like up to
Hi,
par.
Mike. Hitting up from Grenada, tomato, tomato. That in the Caribbean. Do you have any specification for building a drying cabinet?
I was asked that here recently, and I do not, because my
Jesse
buddy
built yours.
built it. I had really just asked him to help out, just to kind of, when we're moving everything in the shop, to just kind of help speed the process along. And he was like, I'll just build it for you, because he has a I believe she's 4 now, but his daughter has type 1 diabetes, and for him to be able to come out here isn't as easy as it, you know, he has to care for her. So he's like, you know what, I'll just do it at home. I'll give you all the receipts and everything, and then just pay me back.
Of course, there was that one day I wake up and you're like, Jesse's at the shop.
Yeah.
I was like, what?
So so basically, if you're building yourself a cabinet, just make it a box with some slats in it. I'll try and post a video as soon as I can. Here, I'll make it real informal and just be like, here's how it is. And we basically, ours holds 20 screens total, and it will hold both 20 by 24 screens and 23 by 31. I had them build it with anticipating getting it in automatic. So every little
You
piece
never told me that.
What's that?
You never told me.
Oh,
that.
our exposure unit was anticipating the automatic, the washout boot, everything was. I was sure to get all that stuff to be able to handle automatic frames. So sorry, I don't have any dimensions for you, but I could do that video and just crudely kind of be like, this is, take a tape measure and be like, this is this dimension. If that will be helpful for you guys out there, just let me know. And if you're catching this video after our live broadcast here, just let us know down in the comments as well.
Okay.
That's about all I got on that.
All right. So
I feel like I exhausted that question.
Mustafa, you was talking about you using silkscreen mesh 230. It's equal 90T. I don't.
I think that's the is that the it's almost like the metric system for screens. I don't think it's 190. I'm sure if you do a search on Google, you can cross-reference that. I don't know the T equivalent of it. I could be wrong, but I think the 190 is closer to 305. Could be wrong.
I didn't even know that there was a T equivalent.
Yeah, I could be wrong. I don't know, but we don't really deal with those numbers a whole lot. I've seen those numbers around. Sorry, I have no idea. But just Google it. I'm sure you'll be able to find the kind of cross reference.
All right. Well, they're still commenting on the contract printing. Adam G says he sometimes feels like paying less, you don't get the quality print. Plus, it kills the industry.
It does. It does.
And Jason agrees with you. Hope your girlfriend's okay.
It's kind of a two-sided coin there. I don't think, because there's some pretty big companies that do nothing but contract screen printing. What the deal is having the capability to turn these orders around quickly, producing quality work, and having the equipment to be able to do that. Now, if you're just kind of starting up in your garage and it takes you 3 minutes to expose a screen, you don't have a dip tank. One of the things we don't have, but I still know that because of the automatic, that's a game changer. And I mean, if you're doing it manually as well, then yeah, it's not feasible all the time. However, if your shop is set up and it's like you have your workflow and everything optimized towards where you got your screen cost down, you know your stuff, and you can produce your screen really quickly. How optimizes your dark room? How much, where can you save time? It's like just a matter of just shaving off as much time as possible to make it to make money off these low prices. So yeah, I would say for small guys, yeah, that's the case. But there's a lot of companies out there, big companies that make a lot of money, and it's all about volume for them. It's volume versus quality. I mean, not that they're not doing quality work, but for us, it's smaller people. It's harder to do quality and quantity.
Jason actually makes a really good point. He says cheap work ain't great. Great work ain't cheap.
I agree.
And also that his girlfriend is on drugs and sending him loopy text messages.
What is she on?
Well, whatever they're giving her for the stomach pains.
Oh.
Not that kind of drugs. She's in the hospital, remember?
Yeah, no. I know that. But what I'm saying, what is she on? What did they put her on?
I don't know.
I'm not saying, hey, what did she smoke? Or
he
what
didn't type out like
what
a
did she
15
drop?
syllable medication.
They wanted to put me on morphine, and I completely pussed out because she's like, oh yeah, you might feel like you're having a hard time breathing, and then the room might start spinning. I was like, I don't remember that when I was 14. I thought it was a great time, but now you're kind of freaking me out.
And that's
I'm already
just the
freaked
worst
out.
thing.
I'm like freaked out as it is what was going on with the situation. I was like, just give me some strong Tylenol or something. And that didn't do anything. And they're like, we're going to give you an alternative that is not morphine, but it should help. And they gave it to me. I'm like, I don't feel crap, dude. All I still feel is the pain. The morphine, I don't know. I wasn't in a good place with that. And then them being like, oh, this is going to make you that much more uncomfortable, but then the pain's going to go away. Like, I don't know how I felt about that.
They wouldn't let me go with them, and the nurse was a bitch. I'm just gonna point that out right now. Okay. And Waldo, we'll get to you privately. We will definitely take a look at that. And CT apparel is 90T is a 230 mesh.
Okay. 90 or was the other dude saying 190?
No, I said one. Oh my god, it's Grandma Bees all over.
What was he saying? Okay,
you guys, okay, this was a horrible situation that we ran into the other day. A lady, very, very, very nice lady, brought in a handmade sweater that she made for her mother for Christmas. Did we talk about that?
Anyways, go ahead. Maybe we didn't.
No, we didn't. We told Angela about it.
Yeah, we talked to Angela about it. I'm gonna stand up. Hold on, my lower back is just...
All right, whatever. So so she brings in this handmade sweater, and she asks for us to put vinyl on it to make it look like a Packers thing, except it's gonna say Grandma Bees.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I said Grandma Bees, BEAS. He thought I said BEEAS. And so he he presses it, and I walk by it, and I have a heart attack. And after that, we managed to get the vinyl off of it, and he burned the sweater.
Singed it.
You burned it.
Screen printing fell.
Yeah, that was That was really terrible. I was in the office at the desk, and all of a sudden I hear, fuck!
Yeah.
So that was creative problem solving 101 right there.
Man, if we had a screen printing fail compilation video,
Oh
it would be
my
the
God, I had a heart
longest
attack.
video.
I nearly died. This lady was so nice. She handmade the sweater.
She did. So there wasn't any way to replace that. So we had to put some stripes on it, and it made it kind of worked. But I'm like, she was happy with it. That's all that mattered. But I felt bad that we had to. It wasn't just the numbers like she wanted. So
I
felt
don't
bad
think
about
for the
it.
rest of my life I'm ever gonna forget that panic of walking by that shirt and
Oh, yeah.
seeing it misspelled, because I just went and you went what, and I'm like
Yeah, that was not a fun day because I'm like, crap. Now I have to call her and tell her I ruined her shirt.
No, you didn't ruin her shirt. You ruined her handmade sweater for her mom for her Christmas present.
That's funny. Yeah, man, we made it work though. She was happy after the fact.
Oh yeah, but anyways, that's our screen printing.
So Rybeat says he'll be uploading the Excel for download on Wednesday. So I saw that video, and I'm actually interested in taking a look at that because we still do use the pricing for profit calculator here and there. If someone's trying to get it, sometimes we're like, hey, can you come down to this price, and we'll plug it into the calculator and make sure. At least, I mean, we always want to make sure that there's some profit in there, but also we want to make sure that trying to help out a client that we're not going below the point towards where we're not paying the bills, so to speak. So
okay,
cool.
I don't know what Waldo means about earmuffs. Maybe it's because I cussed.
Dip tank. You know what? I was thinking about that today, Jason. He says we can all build these pieces. The big companies charge thousands for. Dip tank, washout booth, screen drying cabinets, and it's funny that you started with dip tank because I was thinking about that today as I was washing out screens. That all you really need is you could probably even find a garbage can to fit them in. Aside from the fact that you have to put a lot of water in there, but I was hoping to find something that I could just hang on the side of the washout booth that wasn't too heavy, that could fit a screen at a time, because I can wash a screen out, and while that's happening I'll have a screen in there, or dip a screen in there and just go on about my business, and just have it up above the filtration system, so that way when it goes bad, being that it will only fit one screen, I can easily just let that drain out into the water filtration system, rather than having to have this huge thing that holds 5 or 6 screens and figure out a way to empty that. And I don't know. If I find something, I'm gonna let you probably make something out of wood and then put some sort of waterproof sealer on the inside of that thing and put a little petcock on it. So I don't. Yeah, you can build pretty much your cabinet, your screen drying racks, your exposure unit. You can build your washout booth. You can even build a press. You can build your press. I built one out of wood, but I wasn't going for any kind of. You can build it. You could build it all for the most part. Really, the things that I wouldn't personally try and build is a dryer. But we bought the press was used. Both of our presses have been used, and then the exposure unit and the washout booth and all that. I splurged on that. But if you can find it used, go for it. Or if you can find it new that's cheap but that does the job, like say for instance, we just got a work cart, a cart to kind of help increase our efficiency, so now I can put ink and screens on it. I was looking around and I was just trying to find something for like $15-20, like a Rubbermaid cart, and everybody's wanting like $100. I'm like, are you crazy? It's a used Rubbermaid cart. Good luck selling that. So I found one. I'll uh, I'll I'll post a video and share some links of where I got that.
The toddler's gonna poke her eye out.
Ah. Well, it is 8:12, guys. Ow. I think we're going to get out of here. Shannon, is there any more questions or anything you want to get to at the moment?
Well, there are more
I'm
questions. I just
starving.
didn't get to like say them because you kind of took the reins with the
Ow.
interview.
Dude, go ahead. Let's go ahead and answer those questions, and I'm gonna.
Optic Zero says, since you had a question about your drawing cabinet, do you have a dehumidifier inside or a heater/fan?
I need to put a heater in it. Do not have a dehumidifier. I have a fart fan. I have a bathroom exhaust fan that pulls air through it from the bottom across the cabinet, and it works great. Right now, while it's cold, the screens do take a little longer to dry. So I'm looking for some sort of solution, heating wise, because our humidity is pretty high here, and the reasons why I like the emulsions that I do use is they do really well with humidity. And in the past, others that I've tried, the film would stick to the screens because they just don't like our climate. But the emulsion that I have been using, it works really well for it, and we haven't needed to use a humidifier.
Oh my god, look at that tail wag. Okay, so one more question. Youngsters clothing, how much more sufficient are we with the Beast than manually?
I would say we're still, once it's set up, it probably takes about 10 more minutes per color to register everything up, and that's because I have to actually physically walk around the thing, which is one of the reasons why I got the cart. But as soon as we're up and going, and I'm not having to like really concentrate on what the thing is doing, depending on the job, I would say on average we do about 250 shirts an hour versus like a 6-color job. Before, we would be doing somewhere around 35 to 40 shirts, depending on if I needed to take a break.
Though I would say, like, while the learning curve is going on, though, a lot of the jobs took a lot longer than they would have on the manual, just because.
Right.
Yeah. So,
like, say for instance,
sufficient.
we had, and don't say who their name is, but we had one of our big clients, because I was about to say it. Anyways, generally we do hundreds of shirts for them in one sitting. And it would take us about 3.5, 4 hours, and it took us about an hour and a half. It cut it down quite a bit, and that was a print flash print.
At the production time, yes, but the setup time, because still we were still figuring things out.
Right.
Trying not to set things on fire.
Ow.
Which has happened. I look over. I'm in the office, and the door to the shop is open one day, and I just see flames.
I was setting some test pylons on fire, so that was another learning curve.
Yeah. So I just mean, like, the setup part took probably longer than it would have. The whole thing would have taken on the manual, just because. Did you just?
Did I just bonk him in the nose?
Yeah. Did you just? I was gonna say, did you just bonk him?
I did.
But yeah, no. Once everything's like good and going, it's amazing.
In other words, yes, it increased our production printing wise.
Yes.
Our screen, the amount of time it takes us to create screens and register everything up is still the same amount of time, because we haven't got any equipment to really make that faster. So
he sounds like Yosemite Sam out there. Russa. Hey, Jurassic. Okay, I think that's just about it. Jason's agreeing. Sunny is saying $30 for.
$30 for what?
I'm not sure.
Look at this dude. I gotta
That's
take
what
him,
he's going to look like.
I gotta take him back in to get his ears.
Not floppy.
He had to have his wraps or his racks taken off because he his ears are swollen. I think they've kind of gone down a little bit, but they were standing up initially, so they're still in the training process
falling.
of his ears standing up like this. So poor guy. He looks like he freaking looks like Yoda right now. Look at him. Oh, young fat one. Oh, look, Skywalker. Anyways, Shannon, do you have any totally awesome jokes that you want to?
I did, but I forgot it.
Ow, dude! Ow, ow, dude! His bite is getting so hard.
I'm telling him, we need to stop letting him bite. Hi, Patricia. Let me see. Do I have it? Do I have it? Do I have it? Nope. So
No joke today.
No jokes. I have a
Words of
not
wisdom?
fun. I have a not fun fact.
All right, let's hear it because it's any fact from Shannon's a fun fact.
It's not a fun fact. I recently learned that
Ow.
ear cropping and tail docking is illegal in Britain and New Zealand. That's
Right,
what
that's-
I've got. That's like not
Yeah.
fun.
Go America, America! All right, guys, we're gonna get out of here.
And I found a new freckle.
And she found a new freckle. I don't know. You're gonna show me where this freckle's at, but we'll talk to you guys later.
You can't see. Oh, Patricia wants to. Okay.
No, yeah, well,
Yeah.
What is it before we go?
Are we accepting brokers?
Patricia, we are accepting brokers. Just email us at info@mikeydesigns.com. MikeyDesigns.com. It's right there on the screen. But we are accepting brokers, so please send us your pricing if you are a broker. If you know someone that is a broker, just have them send their pricing,
Strangled the
please.
dog. And youngsters, that was never part of the agreement. Buy a freaking shirt.
What now?
Youngsters said, since there's no joke, I have to get in front of the camera. I'm like, no. That's not the agreement. Buy a shirt.
Yeah, she's talking about 50 shirts. So, where were we at now, Shannon?
I don't know.
Carl Putney said he was going to buy the remaining amount.
When I said your money is no good.
Yeah. Okay, guys. Well, we're
right,
going to get out of here, and
new freckle.
it's
That's
been
my
fun.
look.
And we'll see you next time.
Bye, guys.
How about that?
Hearts.
Ow, Apollo, dude.